Hey, what's up, book lovers? My name is Miriam and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about the stories I would love to see J.K. Rowling write in the Wizarding world. I've always wanted to see a story about Harry's children, and it's finally kind of happening, I think, with The Cursed Child, so I thought it would be really cool to talk about other stories that I wish J.K. Rowling would write in the Wizarding world. It's just that this world is so rich and diverse and complex, and J.K. Rowling just set it up so wonderfully, and there's so much room to do more stories and to tell more stories that I would just really think it would be really cool if we had some more stories set in the Wizarding world, not just about the characters that we've already met, but other stories with other characters too. For example, I really think it would be super cool if we had like a sort of magical creatures zoo or something set like that, like with all these different magical creatures, because we hear about all these creatures that are set in the Wizarding world, that exist in the Wizarding world, and it would be super awesome to just kind of see like a magical creatures zoo or a magical creatures circus and have a book set in that kind of setting. Another story I would really like to see is the year that the Triwizard Tournament got banned. It makes me wonder when I'm reading Goblet of Fire, like what happened that they decided that the Triwizard Tournament got banned? Obviously the death toll got too high, but like what year was it? It was like, alright, enough is enough. Another like Triwizard Tournament kind of story, because I really enjoyed that aspect of Goblet of Fire. I thought all the trials and the tasks that all of the contestants had to do was like super duper cool. So I think that would be another really awesome story that J.K. Rowling could write in the Wizarding world. The next one I have here has to do with Lupin. So I've always loved Remus Lupin. I've always loved all of the Marauders except Pettigrew, because Pettigrew. But I've always kind of wanted a story about a werewolf who fights for their rights, because werewolves are discriminated against in the Wizarding world. And obviously not all of them are terrible people. Lupin is a prime example of that, and it's not their fault that they got bit. I would love to see a story about werewolves fighting for their rights, and just like overall magical creatures fighting for their rights, because house elves and werewolves and all these other creatures, half giants like Hagrid, like we're just treated so badly and like we're so prejudiced against in these books, and you just want to kind of see a different light. I just really want to see them get like a better life or a happier ending. So I think that would be a really awesome story, really inspirational too. I feel like J.K. Rowling could make it really inspirational. This next one could kind of be like a short story novella kind of thing, but I would just really love to meet the founding members of Hogwarts, like Helena and Salazar Slytherin and Godric Gryffindor and Rowena Ravenclaw. Like I would just love to meet them, because they started this whole thing in Hogwarts and made it so epic and so awesome. And I just really want to see like where they come up with this stuff, how they do it. Really look at how they put together this amazing school that all these wizards and witches go to and learn and stay for 7 years, becoming a family and meeting their lifelong friends. I feel like that would be a really nice short story or novella or something that we could get. So the next one I have is kind of a wizard tames the dragon story, and dragons are super cool because they breathe fire, so why would they not be cool? If you could have like a wizard, or you know what, let's have Hagrid. Hagrid should have a pet dragon. That should be the story, Hagrid and his pet dragon. That would be a really awesome story. It could like be a children's book, like Hagrid and his pet dragon. Yeah, let's go with that. Hagrid and his pet dragon. Children's book. Definitely approve of that. This next one I feel could really be a fun thriller if we got more of the Aurors. If we got more of the Aurors in the Wizarding world and their training and what they go through in their everyday life, and we could have like an Auror mystery book basically, where a group of Aurors are trying to solve a mystery case in the Wizarding world. That would be super awesome. You could have like a great cast of characters with that, an epic plot twist, and like so many amazing things could happen with a story like that. It would be just like an epic ride of awesomeness. So this next one could also be kind of like a novella or a short story. It's a little sad, but I really want to see something from George's point of view after Fred dies. I just want to see what his life is like, how he's coping without his twin brother, and what he's feeling. Like Fred and George are such underrated characters. They're so funny and they're so awesome at the same time, and I felt like we didn't get enough of them in the Harry Potter series, and then Fred dies, and you're just like, but why? So, like, I really, really, really wish that I could get something from George's point of view. This next one is also a little sad, but I would love to see something from Snape's perspective, especially as he's working as a spy, and how he coordinated that, how he did all of that. I think that would be another really cool story or like novella that we could get from Snape's point of view. It would help us as readers to understand Snape a little bit more, because I have such conflicting feelings over Snape. He was such a terrible person, but at the same time, he did help the cause, and Harry could have died so many times if it weren't for Snape. My feelings over Snape have always been like super conflicted. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I hate Snape. When I'm reading the books and he's being such a bully, I'm like, oh god, you're so annoying. But then I think about Deathly Hallows and the whole revelation, and then how Harry named his son after him, like Albus Severus Potter, and then I'm just like, oh, Snape. So I think it would really add to Snape's character if we got a story about him working as a spy. So this next one involves none other than Voldemort. I would love to see how Voldemort got to power the first time, and all of his years at Hogwarts, how he came up with this whole Horcrux idea, and how he got to be like so super evil. When did these ideas first originate? How he kind of got his followers, how he got all this power. I think that would make for a really, really interesting story, especially for people who love villains. I think villains are really interesting. Like, I hate them, but at the same time, when you read about them, they just mess with your mind. Voldemort would definitely be a great villain to read about. So the last one I have here has been one that I will never stop hoping for, ever. I've wanted this forever, ever since I finished Order of the Phoenix, and I know it's probably never gonna happen, I know that. But, a girl can only dream, and usually I don't read fanfiction, but my whole middle school years were spent reading fanfiction about the Marauders. I love the Marauders so, so, so incredibly much. Like I said, I'm obsessed with Sirius Black, and I love Remus Lupin. And knowing that Sirius and James are really, really great friends, I love stories about friendship. The one about the Marauders could be so epic because, number one, they are hilarious. I would love literally, I would take a book about all the pranks that they said. They're so funny and they're so brilliant. Like, becoming Animagi at the age of 15 when not even like a lot of trained actual grown wizards can do that. Making up the Marauders map, like, that must have taken some skill. Like, everything that they did, they were just so awesome and so epic, and I loved them so much. Except Pettigrew, obviously, but we don't have to talk about Pettigrew. And let's just erase Pettigrew. Let's pretend Wormtail doesn't exist when I talk about the Marauders. James and Remus and Sirius, they deserve their own book. Like, they deserve to have their story told. I would also really love to see how James managed to get Lily to fall in love with him. Like, how? She hated him so much in the 5th book. Like, that would be such a great story. Like, I wish I could read that story, and that's literally what I spent 3 years of my life reading over and over and over again, because I was just like obsessed with the Marauders. It's okay, I'll just live in my little fanfiction world and keep hoping and keep dreaming that one day we'll get an actual Marauder story from J.K. Rowling. So those are all the stories I would definitely read if J.K. Rowling ever came out with them. Let me know what you guys wish you could see in the wizarding world. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!